Hello, my name is Christian Castro, and this is the future of media with education. So getting straight into it, we see how big podcasts are with 500 million listeners in 2024, and this has been increasing since 2013, 2 to 4% yearly. So the key standouts are how niche and low barrier to entry this is, as well how it is listener controlled. So this means that they can choose when to listen and how to engage. So this connects to how the 6 community enhancers on how to maximize podcasts would be through liveliness, parasociality, transmediality, community size, participation intensity, shared intimacy, and trust. So something that you would notice would be, for liveliness, it would be reduce the isolation and focus on it, as well as parasociality is the connection with the host and how frequent they post. Transmediality is how they interact with different platforms on this topic. So this could be like through YouTube and Twitter. Then on community size, it would be show that it's better for bonds when it's a smaller size. And then the participation intensity would be how in-depth the participants are with the topic, as well as this can be different for different types of podcasts and media, etc. And then shared intimacy and trust is how much of a connection you share with them. So then this connects with how true participation is also highlighted in this report, and how this is when we give shared power to these individuals and emotional investment and trust, and not just access to this source. Then we go to the next report, which highlights the fanfic community and how they don't really like AI, with less than 10% accepting AI to write the full story. Majority believe AI cannot replicate human emotional depth, but they do accept AI for the use of AI grammar, such as Grammarly, and this app right here actually helps you write fanfics. Ethical concerns and consent is something that's brought up with this report, and it highlights how the transparency with these people in the fanfic community is really important. And it also highlights how people from back then don't really agree with AI being used as much, but the youth is way more accepting than the older generation. So then we go to the new age of tech, which Mimi's podcast really highlights how we should avoid tech solutionism, where we primarily focus that this is the solution. This is because AI will never be 100% correct, and we need to shift from a top-down learning view to a co-constructive learning, where we actually work with AI as an assistant, and this will allow for more personalized pathways for neurodivergent learners, as well as any type of learner who needs different types of assistance. This then connects to her type of learning, which is connected learning, which uses the 4P framework, which uses project, passion, peers, and play. And these are the 4 type of different formats of how we can engage with different technology, especially now in AI. And this is used for the youth mobilized through media, and this can be shown with a different video of how Harry Potter Alliance did this, where they used the media to connect and create a community and allow that to expand their knowledge. This allows media to build on interest and not on passive consumption and learning, and it bridges the intergenerational gap of the digital disconnect between people. So now let's get to my thoughts. I think AI is more accepted by youth. In fanfic port allows for us to focus on AI as the future, and this is where we need to fix it before we implement it completely. This goes to the ethical concerns, where people have a lot of issues with the consent of the data scraping, and this is an easy fix in my opinion. I think it goes back to where there's a lot of transparency and in the report of, like, as long as they're transparent, they're okay with it, and as long as there's moderation, they're okay with it. So I think we need to focus on the community, and I think focusing on what Mimi said about how we have our priorities wrong, focusing on paying attention on how we can embed it into the community and have them be okay with it, and not as much as viewing it as regulation. So then goes to integrating a new form of education, where we use AI as a tool, so it's viewed in a similar vein as Grammarly, as it states in the fanfic port. And I'm surprised how big podcasts are and express like over half a billion people, and we can use this with the 6 reasons on engaging learning to connect with the people as the community aspect of the personalized learning. And I think this can help start communities and initiatives like the Hogwarts one in the video, where we can use this to the best of ability, and AI is concerning with the public eye, and maximize it as an assistant rather than a direct solution would be really important in my opinion.